The Howl Within. The gray wolf sat hunched over his desk, the harsh light of the office flickering above him. Stacks of papers were piled high, each one a reminder of a life stripped of meaning. His eyes burned with exhaustion, the weight of sleepless nights pressing on his shoulders. He glanced at the clock. Just another minute in the endless loop. When the workday finally ended, he trudged through the forest on his way home, the trees looking just as lifeless as he felt. But tonight was different. A shadow slipped between the trees, and a sly voice spoke. "You look dead on your paws." The wolf turned to see a fox leaning against an old oak tree. The fox's eyes sparkled with mischief, his tail swaying lazily. There was something wild about him, something free. "Who are you?" the wolf asked, curiosity breaking through his fog of exhaustion. "Name's Tyler," the fox smirked. "You don't have to live like this, you know." The wolf blinked. "Like what?" "Trapped. Tamed. You're a wolf. You were born to howl." That night, Tyler led the wolf through back trails and hidden clearings, deep into the shadows where the forest whispered secrets. They arrived at an underground den, a dimly lit place filled with tense energy. Raccoons, badgers, and squirrels were gathered, eyes gleaming with anticipation. "Welcome to the fight pack," Tyler announced, a grin curling his lips. "This is where we wake up." The wolf watched as animals clashed, bodies locked in furious combat. The sound of teeth snapping and claws raking filled the air. And for the first time in a long while, the wolf felt his heart beat with something other than dread. He stepped into the circle and Tyler nodded. "Let it out." The wolf fought. He howled. He felt his frustration, his pain, and his fear flow out through every blow, every growl. The adrenaline was like a wildfire in his veins. For the first time, he felt alive. Nights turned to weeks, and the fight pack grew. The matches became wilder, the stakes higher. Tyler's voice echoed louder and louder, his ideas spreading like wildfire. "We are more than this forest's rules," he'd snarl. "We can tear it all down." The fight pack evolved into something darker, Project Howl. No longer just a place to fight, it became a movement for chaos. Trees were marked, paths destroyed, dens overturned. The forest trembled. The wolf felt the thrill, but also a gnawing dread. He saw the fear in the eyes of animals who hadn't joined. The forest he called home was being swallowed by Tyler's rage. One night after another destructive raid, the wolf confronted Tyler. "This isn't freedom," he growled. "This is madness." Tyler's eyes glinted. "What did you expect? You wanted to feel alive. This is who you are." "No," the wolf whispered, a deep ache in his chest. "You're not who I am." Tyler's smirk faded. "Then who am I?" The wolf took a step back. He saw his reflection in a nearby puddle and froze. Tyler was there, staring back. But as the ripple settled, the fox's face blurred and morphed into his own. The realization struck like lightning. Tyler wasn't real. The chaos, the rage, the desire to destroy, it all came from within him. Tyler was his suppressed instincts, his own shadow given form. The wolf closed his eyes and took a deep breath. The forest, his home, was on the brink of ruin. If he didn't take control, he would lose everything. He opened his eyes. "Enough," he growled. The wolf returned to the fight pack's den, where chaos reigned. Animals shouted, tore at the walls, and howled in fury. Tyler's voice echoed in his mind, urging him to join the destruction. But the wolf stood tall, letting out a howl that silenced the crowd. "This ends now." The animals turned, eyes wide with confusion. The wolf's voice was steady. "We fought to be free, not to destroy. Look at what we've become." A hush fell over the den. The rage in their eyes began to fade, replaced by uncertainty. The wolf felt Tyler's presence slipping away, like smoke in the wind. When the den emptied and the forest calmed, the wolf stood alone. He felt the weight of the fight, the pain of his journey, but also the peace of knowing who he was. The forest still stood, and now, so did he. With a final deep breath, The wolf lifted his head and howled. A pure, clear sound that rang through the trees. A howl of freedom.